disaster resilient coastal tourism in Tamil Nadu, where I wish to place a particular emphasis to the coastal corridor from Mamallapuram to Kanyakumari. So we talk about tourism. So what is tourism? We all know that tourism is the totality of the relationship and phenomenon arising out of the travel and stay of the strangers, provided the stay does not imply the permanent establishment of residence and the stay is not connected with any remunerated activities. Now, when I talk about the coastal corridor from Mamallapuram to Kanyakumari, we need to understand that coastal tourism is very important in the state. I say it is both economically significant and culturally rich, yet increasingly exposed to what we can say environmental hazards and maybe like the cyclones, storm surges, coastal erosion, flooding, and so on. So when I talk on those lines, I wish to say that disaster resilience is the need of the hour and it is no longer an auxiliary concern. However, it has become very much pivotal or central in maintaining the so-called tourist confidence, and we also need to ensure the long-term sustainability of the coastal destinations. It is very important. Now, coming to the research problem and the objectives, this particular study which I have undertaken is driven by the recognition that tourism destinations must attract the visitors. At the same time, it should also ensure tourist confidence, or it should ensure safety, preparedness, and multiple factors. There are multitude of factors which plays a pivotal role in making sure that there isn't any kind of disruptions. And there are three important questions which we need to address. First of all, does this particular disaster preparedness influence the tourist perceived safety or not? Secondly, do these resilience measures affect, or does this particular stakeholders awareness contribute to the destination resilience? And finally, does these measures affect the tourists or the visitors' intention to visit or revisit the particular destination? And these objectives, I would say, on a collective basis, is to understand how the different scales of preparedness, resilience mechanisms, and stakeholder capacity interact to shape the sustainable coastal tourism systems. Now, coming to the broad framework, it is very important that this particular study is grounded in the broader discourse of the tourism resilience and the disaster management on a broader scale as it comes under a larger umbrella. It also draws upon the understanding that resilience in tourism is multidimensional, encompassing preparedness, response capacity, and recovery mechanisms. Now, when I say preparedness, it is nothing but planning and the readiness. Secondly, when I say response capacity, it is the so-called ability to manage the crises. Thirdly, when I talk about the recovery mechanisms, it is nothing but the post-disaster adaptation. Very importantly, this particular study stresses that this particular resilience is not merely infrastructural, but it is perceptual and behavioral. These are the twin ideas which influences how the tourists evaluate these destinations and make right decisions on where to travel or carefully pick up the destinations of travel. Now, coming to the methodology, very importantly, we have used a quantitative survey-based approach where we have a survey, when you look into the sample, we have 300 respondents, which consists of the 200 tourists and 100 tourism stakeholders. And the location is location is from Mamallapuram to Kanyakumari. And we have a structured questionnaire using the 5-point Likert scale has been used here. The analysis is descriptive in nature, where the Pearson correlation and the linear regression statistical methodology has been adopted. And this approach allows for a very systematic examination of the relationship between the key variables, which is very important. Now, coming to the key findings, very importantly, there are three major empirical findings coming to the disaster preparedness and the perceived safety. Firstly, we need to say that there is a strong positive relationship. We can see 0.670 was observed. That is when the destinations demonstrate visible preparedness, like warning systems or evacuation plans and emergency infrastructure, Very importantly, the tourist reports higher level of perceived safety. Now, coming to the resilience measures and the visit intention, a very significant positive relationship 0.603 was identified. Now, destinations perceived as resilient are more likely to attract tourists as well as retain the tourist spots. Now, this underlines or underscores that resilience is not merely a safety feature. I would say it is a determinant of destination awareness. Thirdly, discussing on the stakeholder awareness as well as the disaster destination resilience, I would say that the regression analysis reveals that the stakeholder awareness significantly predicts the destination resilience. That is of 0.306. So on those lines, we can say that approximately 30, it is very important to say 30.5% of the variation in destination resilience is explained by the stakeholder awareness. Now, this in turn shed light on the critical role played by the hotel operators, tourist guides, the local vendors, and tourism officials, and so on. So here I would like to discuss, before I conclude, I would like to discuss that this particular finding suggests that disaster resilience in the coastal tourism is a multi-dimensional and integrated process. Having the first-hand raw data of the survey, it is very clear that the preparedness enhanced perceived safety is the need of the hour, and the resilience measures which we have talked or which we have spoken strengthens the confidence of the tourist or the visitors and the behavioral intention. Finally, the stakeholder awareness forms the operational backbone of the resilience. Thus, the tourism resilience, we all need to understand that it is a systemic outcome, and a systemic outcome where infrastructure and the perception and the stakeholder coordination are all interdependent and hold a symbiotic relationship. Now, coming to the destination management, we need to promote visible safety measures to enhance the tourist confidence and include the resilience as a part of destination brandings. Now we can see the policy and the practical implications, which include steps like embedding the preparedness in the visitor experience, integrating the resilience in the destination marketing, strengthening the stakeholder training, as I have already said, which involves the conduct of the mock drills, coordination workshops, and so on, fostering the multi-stakeholder collaboration, and institutionalizing the resilience standards. Now, coming to the conclusion, this study demonstrates that the disaster resilience is a fundamental determinant of sustainable coastal tourism, where I can say that destinations can no longer solely depend upon their natural or cultural appeal. It is very important to demonstrate the preparedness, adaptive capacity, and coordinated stakeholder response. Thus, the coastal corridor from Mamallapuram to Kanyakumari is thus represents not only a mere tourism space. It represents a resilient landscape, and the sustainability depends upon integration of the safety, planning, and community participation. Disaster resilience, as I said, should be positioned from or repositioned, I would say, from a passive mechanism, reactive mechanism, to a core component of tourism planning, shaping both the tourists' confidence as well as the long-term sustainability of these coastal destinations. So as the key takeaway, sustainable coastal tourism is solely depending upon integrating disaster preparedness, resilience-oriented planning, and stakeholder awareness into the so-called tourism management and policy frameworks. So this is my presentation. Thank you so much.
Yes, so thank you so much, Risha, for your beautiful presentation. Any questions from the participants side? Participants, please ask any question you have. Okay, fine, I have. This is for two
Yes,
options. Either you have to ask or I have to ask. Since nobody's asking, I'm asking some doubts on behalf of you people. Why is it? What theoretical perspectives you have taken for your studies beta? Your presentation is good. It is
yes,
master
sir.
class. So what
Yes,
what theoretical perspectives? Because we know that research always deals with structural to the functional core, right? So
yes, sir.
without the
Yes, sir.
theoretical perspectives, we can't do any kind of research. And for
Yes, sir.
this study, which theoretical perspectives you have taken, or your study based on which theoretical perspectives, my dear?
So theoretical perspectives, in the sense we have collaborated. So being from here, this university, we look into the tourism aspects. So on those lines, we have collaborated with the tourism Ministry of Tourism, India Tourism. So on those lines, we have corely identified some of the pilgrimage circuits. So looking into when we looked into the key reports by we have India Tourism Southern Regional Office at Chennai, as you know. So when we looked into the data, as well as when we got into the reports where the so-called respondents, I mean, when they had an in-field or on-ground survey of the count of the tourists who had, we had a so-called checklist where we included the prospective destinations in Tamil Nadu properly, possibly when I say the coastal destinations which have the maritime linkages. So on those lines, the three important aspects, starting with the Mahabalipuram to the Kanyakumari, and or involving some kind of Dhanushkodi or Rameshwaram in between. So we had a critical findings report, which was based on the India Tourism Regional Office. So on those lines, we were trying to understand, or we were trying to we found that there were a lot of gaps in the reports, in the sense that of course the local regional tourists were ready to go out and ready to go out to the field and ready to explore the destinations, but at the same time there was a kind of anomaly, or there was a kind of some kind of ambiguity within the people. When I say ambiguity, the report from the Ministry of Tourism, India Tourism, shows that people all across the globe as well as within the country are hesitant to visit a destination, saying that the stakeholders, the local stakeholders, are not keenly responding to the needs perceived or needs of the perceived safety, as well as disaster resilient measures are not being put forward. So on those lines, the necessity to work on this particular topic came out from the data, the findings from the tourism, from the Ministry of Tourism's reports, some shocking reports, or which is visible in our website. I will also share the link. So this is the basis of my, which made me think of understanding or doing a kind of field research, or understanding how we can come to a consensus on preparing a kind of disaster resilient measures in order to promote our coastal, tourism, particularly within Tamil Nadu, which is undoubtedly contributing a lot to the economy of both the state as well as the nation, and in this way creating a large space for even the youth to develop. Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is what.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let me invite Hasim Mohammed. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
May I leave?
yes. PhD research scholar, National Institute of Advanced Studies, IISc Campus, Bangalore, affiliated to Manipal University of Higher Education, Manipal. And he will be
Hey,
presenting the topic on From Risk to Readiness, Landslide Risk Information Seeking in Affected Communities of Kerala. Over to you, sir.
sir, okay. My, I hope that my slides are visible. Uh,
No, sir.
okay, just a minute. Uh, sir, is it visible?
No.
Okay,
No, I made you a co-host. Now you can share your screen.
okay, just a minute. Now is it visible? Okay,
Yes.
just is it visible now?
Yes, visible, sir, visible. अभी ठीक है. Do you full screen now?
this is a PDF file, so uh, mm, now is it a full screen?
Yes, 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 yes. Superb.
Okay, okay, okay. My
Please
name
be
is
on time
Hashim
up.
Mohammed. Okay,
Yes.
sir. My name is Hashim Mohammed. I am a PhD scholar at the National Institute of Advanced Studies, Indian Institute of Science Campus, Bangalore. My topic of presentation is From Risk to Readiness, Landslide Risk Information Seeking in Affected Communities in Kerala. So, why Kerala? Why now? Kerala is not just a convenient research site. It is arguably the most important place in India to ask this question. The state experienced a disproportionately high number of rainfall induced landslides for its size. But more importantly, these are not rare events. They happen every single monsoon. That means these communities don't just need emergency response, they need sustained ongoing preparedness. So, the main problem is that we know for decades that simply sending warning is not enough. People receive them, but they don't always act. Now, here is something interesting. There is actually two very different things happening. Some people passively receive information. A warning reaches at them, and that's it. Others actively seek when they feel uncertain. They feel they need to know more, and they go for looking. And here is the puzzle. Two people, same warning. One seeks information and others don't. Why? This is exactly what the study is set to answer. So the two research questions is that what factors actually push a person to actively seek landslide risk information, and secondly, does feeling underinformed act as a trigger that connects those factors to actual seeking? Why does this matter? Because if we understand why people seek, we can design communication that actually changes the behavior. And here is the critical gap. Despite research records across floods and pandemics, landslide communities in India has never been studied through this lens, and this study fills that gap. And let me explain the thinking behind this study simply. People don't seek information randomly. Something has to motivate them. The theoretical framework I have used is risk information and seeking processes and processing by Griffith, and built on a powerful insight. People seek information when they feel they don't know enough to protect themselves. Think of this way: you can check a weather forecast when you feel uncertain about rain. If you already think you know, you don't bother. We tested 7 factors that either create or close that knowledge gap. And the model has been validated worldwide. So these 7 factors are risk perception, negative affect. Negative affect is essentially the fear, anxiety, then current risk knowledge, then perceived information gathering capacity, information subjective norms, information need, and information seeking behavior. So we had a 4 core predictions hypothesis. One, all 6 factors directly drive seeking behavior. And the second hypothesis is a feeling under informed act as a bridge between those factors and the seeking. And 3, the higher knowledge actually work against the seeking. The more you think you know, the less you look. And fourthly, risk perception drives effect, which shapes knowledge, which builds capacity. And this is the hypothesis path diagram of that all this hypothesis. And coming to the methodology, we conducted a cross-sectional survey between September and November 2025 across 5 sites in Kerala. And we used a snowball sampling from directly affected households. And for adults aged between 18 and above who were actually present during the landslide events. Our sample was 380 participants with age between 18 to 30. And we have used a 24-item questionnaire with strong reliability. Our analysis moved from exploratory factor analysis to confirmatory to structural equation modeling, covariance-based structural equation modeling with the mediation testing. So these are some of the photographs from the study. Before testing our hypothesis, we validated the measurement model, and the 7 factors were confirmed with a KMO of a Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin scale of 0.75, and 68 of the variance has explained. And all four fit indices met their threshold, and convergent and discriminant validity confirmed all across all 7 constructs. The measurement model was a solid. So now we come to the results, main results of the direct results of my study. Now, what actually predicts what actually predicts information seeking behavior? The strongest predictor was information need with a beta of a 0.38. Where it means when people feel they don't know enough, they seek clear and strong. After that, perceived capacity, information norms, risk perception, and current risk knowledge all showed a significant effect. But there is a finding that surprised us, which is the negative effect, which is actually the fear and anxiety. Fear essentially was not a direct, significant direct predictor. Fear alone does not make people seek information. This is an important finding for anyone designing disaster risk communication tools. It means fear-based messaging may not do what we think it is doing. So the results for the information need, which is the central engine. The perceived capacity, risk perception, subjective norms, and affect, negative effect all positively predicted information need. But here is the most striking finding of this entire study. Current knowledge had a significant negative effect with a beta minus 0.24. The more people feel they know about landslide, the less they felt they need to new information. We call this the knowledge sufficiency paradox, and this is about who has the most prior knowledge. It is actually the residents who have already lived through these landslides. The most experienced communities are paradoxically the least motivated to seek the updated information. So moving on, the results for a mediation analysis confirm that information need is a primary psychological mechanism connecting all upstream factors to seeking behavior. Every single hypothesis to mediation path was supported. Capacity, perception, norms, and affect all work through the information need to drive seeking. Knowledge worked through it too, but in a negative direction. What this tells us practically, if you want to change seeking behavior, you must target the central feeling of insufficiency, not fear. And discussion. So, what do these findings really tell us? 4 things. Firstly, fear is not enough. It is influenced the seeking only indirectly through information need. And secondly, and this is the most counterintuitive finding, knowing too much can be dangerous. Experienced residents felt informed enough, which made them less likely to seek a new, updated season-specific information. This is a serious vulnerability. And thirdly, community expectations are a structural lever. When information seeking is a social norm, people do it. Risk communication is not just a individual; it is a deeply social. And the fourth, risk information and the seeking and processing model holds in this context. And this is the first validation in Indian landslide setting. And to conclude, 3 takeaways are there. Fear alone does not work. The filled knowledge gap is what drives seeking. Experience breeds complacency. The most exposed communities are the hardest to engage, and the community norms matters enormously. For practice, so the practical implications are stop sending generic alerts, design specific timely information that create a felt gap, and build access at the community level, and used to trusted local institutions like self-help groups like ASHA workers, and most importantly, actively target experienced importantly, actively target experienced residents. They are the one who makes at the risk of believing they already know enough. And thank you. If any questions are there, I am ready to take. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a beautiful presentation and outlining the major social problem. Not only the social problem, it's a global problem. It is a beautiful presentation, sir. Any questions
Thank
to
you
be
so much.
asked for this presentation? Faculty members, students? Okay, let us move on to Mr. Mohammed Akwel Khan, a research scholar, Interdisciplinary Department of Remote Sensing and GIS Applications, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, India. He will be presenting on the paper on a machine learning based geospatial framework for mapping impervious surfaces and urban flood hotspots under waste-induced drainage stress, a case study of Aligarh, India.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you for letting me present my work. I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, you can.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Is it visible to everyone?
Visible, visible, visible.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
You full screen, no?
Yeah, I'm full screen now. Thank you. I'm Mohammad Adil Khan from
नहीं,
Intelligence
give full
Department.
screen. Full screen करो ना बाबू.
I'm not on full screen. It's already showing a full screen.
F5 press करो. Oh my God, you went out. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Now not okay. Now okay.
Okay.
Yes, you can press and we will see. We will see.
My title is Machine Learning Based Geospatial Framework for Mapping Impervious Surface, Urban Flood Hotspot under Waste Induced Drainage System, case study of Aligarh. As time is so limited, I'm going a little bit fast. Introductions, rapid expansion of impervious surface, transforming the landscape very fast, such as roads, rooftop, pavement, parking lots, and in substantial increase in impervious surface, and rapid growth in medium-sized cities like Aligarh often leads to unplanned and poorly regulated development. This study offers a comprehensive geospatial frameworks to map impervious surface with urban runoff dynamics, waste stress condition, and flood hotspot identification. The principal hypothesis of this study asserts that increased impervious surface coverage significantly elevate runoff potential. When combined with the slight terrain slope and waste-induced drainage obstruction, leads to the formation of localized urban flood hotspot and waterlogging for days to months, and disaster-prone regions create disaster-prone regions. My research motivations are here. Impervious surface reduce the infiltration capacity and increase surface runoff. Impervious surface significantly affect urban hydrology, which disrupt the ecosystem health and contribute urban heat island, thereby increasing the risk of flash flood, which is seen in previous episodes in multiple cities of India. Waste management system to reduce urban waste stress, accurate and timely mapping of critical for effective urban planning, disaster management, risk assessment and mitigation, and need for integrated geospatial system for disaster risk in urbanization and infrastructure is needed in developing countries just like us. And research objectives, random forest classified satellite data from multiple sources to create a map of impervious surface. We can easily done it in Google Earth Engine, which is cloud computing, and to figure out how likely it is for runoff to happen, find places that are likely to flood based on the terrain and the surface features, majorly caused by impervious surface, to mark off areas of stress for waste in study area, combine these factors to find a measure urban disaster hotspot, to pinpoint integrated urban disaster hotspot arising from cumulative stressors like surface runoff and waste disposal areas. And here my methodology. My study area is Aligarh district, which located in Uttar Pradesh, India. And data used in my study is Sentinel-2, Sentinel-1 for better structural sensitivity, and SRTM DEM data for slope, and derived indices like NDVI, NDWI, and BSI. And manually collected training and validation data, total samples is getting from a high resolution imagery, which is available on Google Earth Engine. And the data is then segmented in 70% for training samples and 20% for validation sampling and 10% for testing, and which is distributed in two classes, impervious and pervious. Here is a architectural structure of random forest. Its feature is tech and training for random forest model using labeled sample, pixel wise classification done with the using random forest. And for accuracy assessment, we have applied overall accuracy, kappa, and precision recall and F1 score. These are my methodological flowcharts. Satellite data acquisition and pre-processing was done in Google Earth Engine, and cloud masking and radiometric normalization all done with Google Earth Engine. And then we have extracted NDVI, BSI for feature stacking. Then manual digitization also done with the Google Cloud Computing, Google Earth Engine. For classification of impervious surface, we used random forest. Here is my result. Accuracy of validation test set is overall accuracy 98.40%, with COPA coefficient is 0.96. For my test data set is 96.07%, which is followed by validation data set, and kappa is also 0.91%. Precision and and, uh, recall and F1 score for class with class wise is given here. Here is an impervious map classified by using random forest, and it is shown as approximately 527.7 kilometers square meter of my study area. Random classifier successfully delineated the impervious and non-impervious surface. Uh, Urban core identified in middle of the study area. High density zone also highlighted as a red color, which is shown in the screen right now. Spatial extent of urbanization base for hydrological and risk analysis used for further study. Runoff and flood susceptibility is also derived from impervious density. Low slope is equal to high accumulation. Slope influences the water flow, and high runoff zone corresponding to the areas of low infiltration and poor drainage system. And for low infiltration, there is a so much maximization in impervious surface like concrete parking lots and warehouses are building in big areas, indicating the increased flood susceptibility and flood susceptibility map. And after that, waste storage zones are also delineated using uh, urban density influences the waste and poor waste management areas. And approximately it is a 250.4 kilometers square area of my whole study area is almost 3,800 square kilometers. And after that, the integration of impervious surface density with terrain characteristics reveals that urban flood hotspot is approximately 269.0 square kilometer of study area is highly susceptible to flooding. ISA is shown as a 1 for impervious class. Density is greater than zero point 0.4 threshold. Less than the zero point 0.3 threshold is for rural areas, and greater than is for high density areas, which is semi-urban or urban areas. Slope is considered as a less than 3-degree conditions, which
Sir,
is
last 1 minute, sir. Last 1 minute.
okay. High runoff accumulation zones and localized flood prone areas here. Urban disaster hotspot prone areas using waste stage zone results in identification of 212.8 kilometers of urban disaster hotspot. High vulnerability areas, priority intervention zones are calculated. Here is the composite risk map, which is impervious surface expansion, reduced infiltration, increased runoff, drainage obstruction, and flood hotspot. Are risk layer integrated in this final map? For discussion, impervious areas is almost 527.7 square kilometers. Surface runoff is 269 kilometers, identified as a flood prone area in my study area, and 250.4 square kilometer identifies at west eastern areas, which is blocking the drainage system and reduce water convenience efficacy, leads to localized water logging, and 212.8 kilometers identified as high risk zones formed by flood plus waste intersections represent compounded urban vulnerability. Multi-factor risk formation confirmed. Now come to the conclusion. Impervious surfaces drive runoff generation. Flood risk is especially concentrated. Waste adds critically complexity. Integrated framework successfully developed in this study and support urban planning, decision, and disaster management. But every study has some strength and some limitations. Here is my strength is Google Earth Engine ensure the scalability, multi-source satellite integration with a faster and precise result. But there is a limitations like single layer analysis and waste layers, proxy waste layer. For future direction, regulating impervious surface expansion through sustainable urban design and green infrastructure, as impervious surface increase the runoff, water runoff, and induce less water infiltration. Improving drainage system in low slope urban areas to enhance water convenience. Strengthening waste management practices to prevent the blockage of drainage networks we have faced in monsoon time in India. Prioritizing the identified disaster hotspot for targeting intervention and mitigation. Focus on hotspot regions to plan better and mitigate the disasters happening in future. Promote sustainable urban planning. Practical applications. In this study, Google Earth Engine provided a cost-effective, scalable tool for urban flood risk assessment, a data-driven framework for identifying high-risk zones, a basis for early-stage disaster mitigation planning in data-scarce region, as Google Earth Engine provided free of cost data also. Final key takeaways from this study is flooding is not only rainfall driven, it is impervious surface induced and waste stress. Human induced land changes are critical for flooding and flash flood. Drainage efficiency determines the impact in monsoon time. Waste management plays a key role as it blocks the drainage system. An integrated approach is very essential to mitigate and prepared for future disasters happening. There is some differences. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Thank
only
you.
one change from my side.
Yeah.
I found there are too many objectives. Objectives थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. So because no, it will be really difficult for you to focus on yes, is because this entire objective is for my PhD. But you have done a lot of works on objective. But as per the protocol, for each and everything we have a protocol, no? Two or
Yeah.
three objectives is more than fine, sir. You have worked with
Yeah.
a lot
It's
of objectives.
okay.
In future, if you're going for, because I'm the reviewer for Scopus Journal, I'm running 8 Scopus journals.
Yeah.
So we normally never take the paper which has more objectives, because no, we can't throw more input or more depth analysis about our objective, because our objective has to be verified, right?
Okay. Thank you
Apart
very
from
much
that,
for
is
your
everything is fine, sir.
suggestions.
Apart
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apart from this,
Very, very
everything is good,
thankful.
sir.
Yeah. Very, very
Apart from this,
thankful to you.
everything is good, sir. Very good, sir.
Okay.
Very good presentations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Dear participant, next let me invite uh, Nilakshi Mazumdar, PhD Research Scholar in the Department of Coastal Disaster Management, Pondicherry University. Nilakshi is there?
Yes, sir.
Uh, Nilakshi, please
Sir,
introduce about yourself and
sir,
then
my
talk
name is
about the
Neela.
topic. Yes, you talk about the topic and just you come to the findings and discussions so that everybody will present. Yes, your screen is
Sir,
visible.
can you?
Yes, visible beta, visible.
Hello everyone, my name is Nilakshi Mazumdar, research scholar of Pondicherry University, and today I am presenting my topic, geospatial assessment of urban flood hazard using Google Earth Engine and AHP, Kamrup Metropolitan, Assam, India. Background of my study area. Urban flood hazards poses a critical risk to rapidly urbanizing region across the South Asia. Kamrup Metropolitan District composes Guwahati, the largest city in Northeast India, is highly susceptible to seasonal flooding due to its unique geographical characteristics, extreme monsoonal rainfall, and rapid urban sprawl. Urban growth and changing climate are making flood risk management in Guwahati increasingly complex. A GIS-based assessment helps capture this interaction factor more accurately, enabling better identification of high-risk zones and stronger support for sustainable urban planning. Kamrup Metro lies on the southern bank of Brahmaputra River, surrounded by the Assam Hills and Meghalaya Plateau. The combination of high rainfall intensity, low-lying terrain, dense river network, and increasing impervious surface has altered accelerated flood frequency and severity. Traditional flood mapping method lacks the spatial precision of multi-criteria integration required for urban planning. This study addresses the gap using cutting-edge geospatial tools. And these are some key literature findings by Tehran et al., Khosri et al., and Termeh et al. In 2018. Since time is less, so I am just Rahmati et al. In 2019, Daswez 20, Samati et al. In 2024, 22, and Mukherjee et al. In 2023. Identified research gap of my area. No integrated 14 parameters AHP study. Existing studies uses 6 to 9 parameters. No studies in Kamrup Metro integrated all 4 conditioning factors simultaneously. Then limited use of Google Earth Engine application in Kamrup district. Then absence of ward level flood generation in the area and insufficient validation result. Objective of my study area: analyze the influence of relative contribution of geomorphic, hydrological, and land use factor on urban flood hazard magnitude. Evaluation of effective of AHP GIS integration for urban flood hazard assessment. Map urban flood hazard and delineate them at the ward level in Kamrup Metropolitan using integrated geospatial and remote sensing technique. Validate the flood hazard model using ground truth data and statistical metrics for accuracy and reproducibility. Assess the spatial flood hazard pattern across all 60 wards of GMC. This is the methodology flowchart of my area and workflow summary. First, I have collected data from various sources like Google Earth Engine, Bookcase, NVVS, EMC, and by primary search ground truth point. Then parameters with derivation for 14 conditioning factors. Then I have reclassified all those parameters in ArcGIS. And then weighted overlay computation by 14 to 14 pairwise comparison matrix constructed. And then validation with 81 ground truth point used with ROC tool. These are the sources from where I have made all the maps for my 14 parameters, like HiGIS for impervious layer, then scripts for rainfall map, Sentinel-2 for NDVI and LOLC maps, SRTM them for TRI, TPI, TWI, slope, elevation, curvature map, and Bookcase for soil geomorphology map. NBVS means National Bureau of Soil Survey for soil map, and Guwahati Municipal Corporation for boundary and area map. And field collected flood occurrence points for ROC validation. These are my maps for my all 14 parameters, starting with terrain roughness index map, then terrain topographic position map, topographic wetness map, soil map, elevation map, curvature map, rainfall map, NDVI map, LOLC map, soil map, imperviousness map, drainage density map, proximity of river, and geomorphology map. Based then this is the weighted percentage of all of the 14 parameters. The methodology I have used for this is Satish analytical hierarchy process pairwise with comparison for 14 parameters on the scale of 1 to 9 in 9. Then matrix size was 14 into 14 pairwise comparison matrix. Then column normalization, averaging, normalizing priority factors. Then consistency for consistency results to lambda 14.05 and consistency index 0.0042 and consistency ratio is 0.0027 calculated, and it shows that CR less than 0.1 is confirmed acceptable for consistency. Key weighted rainfall is showing 21.47%, followed by drainage density and imperviousness. Top three accounted for 51.31% of total weightage. Weightage ranking reflect the dominance of hydroclimatic and urban-driven in flood generation over terrain factors. This is the final map of urban flood hazard of Kamrup metropolitan. Here it shows that very low area, very low areas is occupying 5.01%, low areas are occupying 17.22%, moderate area is 23.03%, very high, the dominant area is 45.42%, and high area is a dominance which is cover 45.42%, and very high is 9.32%. This is to validate this model, we have collected 81 sampling points, which includes 60 flooded points and 21 non-flooded points. From 81 points, I have created ROC AUC curve in using ArcGIS SMD toolbox in ArcGIS. From that confused matrix shows that true positive is 58, false negative is 7, FP is 3, and TN is 13. Based on that model accuracy, I have get is 87.65%.
Last 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay, sensitivity is 89.23%, specificity is 81.25%, and precision is 95.08%, and F1 is 0.921%, kappa is 0.644%, AUC is 0.843, and FNR is 10.77%. And this is my ward-wise risk areas where it shows this that high risk ward is 23, ward number 23, 24, 10, and 2. Urban core risk areas is ward number 10 and 2. Low risk area is 11, 12, and 27. And flood hazard drivers are build up expansion, which cover 47.97%. Then high rainfall and proximity to Brahmaputra tributaries are the primary flood drivers. Then ward level generation enable the targeted flood infrastructure investment, zoning regulation, and evacuation of route planning for GMC. My conclusion, an integrated AHP and GIS framework successfully integrated comprehensive urban flood hazard map in Kamrup metropolitan district using 14 conditioning parameters, rainfall followed by drainage density, imperviousness, emerged the three most influential flood driver collectively covers 51.0 weightage. Then what level output of all 60 GMC were provided unprecedented spatial granularity for flood risk management. Then the rapid in case of build-up area 47.97 of Kamrup Metropolitan District and extreme rainfall even accelerate the flood frequency, underscoring the urgency of evidence-based urban flood management. The policy recommendation prioritize the high risk, high hazard wards, regulates the urban expansion, integrate the Guwahati master plan, then early warning system, deploy river level gauge and rainfall sensor for high risk ward connected to GIS plus real-time flood alert system, then for future research, incorporate climate change projection to the hydraulic modeling and social vulnerability indicates for comprehensive risk assessment. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Is there any question for Nilakshi? Okay, Nilakshi, only one suggestion from my side. Conclusions should be in the paragraph format beta. Conclusions not supposed to write point to point. It is a concluding speech, not supposed to be in the point to point. It has to be in the paragraph format. Rest of the things are really good and it's a good presentation. You have done lot of works for the visibility through the PPT presentation. Good, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And Kaushik Kumar is here. Kaushik Kumar. Kaushik Kumar is there. Final call. Kaushik Kumar is there? Okay, thank you. Shwati R there? Shwati R?
Yes, sir.
Miss Swati R, research scholar, Department of Geography, School of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, Madurai
Yes.
Kamaraj University. She'll be
Yes.
presenting the paper on spatio-temporal assessment of hydrothermal reactions. Sorry, interactions in Trivandrum district, Kerala. Over to you, ma'am.
Am I audible?
You are audible, Shwati.
Okay.
Are you going to share your screen? No?
Yes, sir.
Please be on time now. Guys, please don't look at the PPT and read. PPT is only for us. PPT is only for the listeners. You present what you know. This definitely will enhance you while you are going for that while you become a faculty, because I also crossed your level only. Whenever I used to go for a presentation, I never look at the PPT and read. PPT is only for the listeners, in the sense only for the audience. You take the class because you have only prepared everything. You take the class in such a way that we are able to understand the concept. Simultaneously, we will be referring your PPTs. This is what the main concern of PPT. PPT is not for you. It is for the listeners first of all. So please don't read the PPT. You talk as much as you can. We are ready to listen to you. In fact, if you have any kind of questions, we will ask you. If there's any dictions, definitely we will correct you. Over to you, Swati.
I hope my slide is visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay. My name is Swati R. I am the research scholar under Dr. B. Imay from Department of Geography, School of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, Madurai Kamaraj University. My paper is Spatio-Temporal Assessment of Hydrothermal Interactions in Thiruvananthapuram District, Kerala from 1990 to 2025. So, as we all know, climate variability has fundamentally shifted the profile of tropical regions, intensifying in terms of frequency, duration, and magnitude of the extreme climatic events. And historically, if you take a look into the climatic studies, they have largely been thermal and hydrological stresses in isolation rather than as interacting hazards. However, in the emerging studies, it suggests that their interaction produces complex, compounded effects on the environmental systems as well as on human well being. So, these multidimensional processes are not only adequately captured through conventional single variable analysis, which necessitates a shift towards integrated multi hazard frameworks. So, in my study, Kerala, which is located along the southwestern coast of India, represents a climatically sensitive region characterized by strong monsoonal influences with a fragile Western Ghats ecosystem and a dense human settlement. Within this state, Thiruvananthapuram district exhibits pronounced spatial heterogeneity, which encompasses coastal plains, undulating midlands, and highland terrains. So these topographical variations significantly influences the local climatic behavior, which often results in differentiated exposure to thermals as well as hydrological volatility. So recent longitudinal observations, if we take a look, indicates a rise in temperature extremes with a marked increase in the warm night frequencies and shifts in precipitation distribution, which ranges from intensified localized rainfall to prolonged dry spells. So despite these, integrated assessments of thermal as well as hydrological dynamics remain limited, especially at the sub-district spatial scales, which required for local administrative planning in tropical coastal environments. So in this context, I have taken three primary objectives. First is to examine the spatio-temporal trends in selected temporal and temperature and precipitation indices. Second is to analyze the interaction and statistical coupling between thermal and hydrological variables. And to finally identify the spatial hotspots of combined climatic stress using a composite index approach. Just taking a glance at the district's dynamics, it is the southernmost district of Kerala, which is framed by, geographically, it is framed by Arabian Sea along the western boundary and Western Ghats rising along the eastern edges. For my study, I have taken, administratively, I have taken it into 11 developmental blocks and 5 urban local bodies, which you can find in the map. The orange colored areas are the blocks, while the cyan blue is the corporation region and other 4 purple region are the municipalities. Climatically speaking, the district falls within the tropical monsoon category, which is personally marked by high humidity and pronounced seasonal rainfall. Coming to the methodology, here I have taken a multi-step spatial framework, which includes point-based trends to zonal identification. As I said, for my study, I have taken 16 point locations, which is distributed across the district, and finally taking into the 16 zonal divisions, which I have mentioned under the location box. And as I said, for the data source and extraction, thermal data have been taken from ERFI land reanalysis resolution of 0.1 degree Celsius, of 0.1 degree, and precipitation data I have taken it from CHIRPS version 2.0, which is extracted from 16 point for 16 point location via the Google Earth engine, and used ETCCDI derived indices, which includes 12 parameters for this study. And I have utilized Mann-Kendall test for trend detection and sense slope estimator for the trend magnitude analysis. Using the softwares like ArcMap and R, I have created a multi-hazard framework which includes the thermal stress index and hydrological stress index. Finally, preparing the compound climate index, ultimately leading to the preparation of spatial maps, tables, and charts. Coming to the result, first taking into look into the objective 1, which is the spatial temporal trends in the climate extreme indices. First taking a look into the thermal intensification, which includes the intensity, frequency, and duration. Here the analysis of annual maximum temperature reveals a distinct warming code, especially in the southern Midland region. Then the Highland station, which is called Ponmudi, shows a slight non-significant cooling trends, suggesting that daytime peak temperatures are relatively buffered in high altitude forest environments. A critical nocturnal warming signals signal emerges when analyzing frequency and duration. And it also indicates that the highlands are experiencing the fastest loss of nighttime cooling, which is likely due to the increased cloud cover or humidity trapping the long wave radiations. And this is further corroborated by the significant negative diurnal temperature range, which is observed in 11 out of the 16 locations. Now coming to the hydrological volatility and the rainfall paradox. The district exhibits a rainfall paradox where total volume does not translate into the higher intensity. Taking a look into the total annual precipitation, it shows a significant increasing trend across all the 16 locations. And regarding simple daily index intensity index and the maximum one-day precipitation, it shows a universal negative slope. It indicates that the rise in total rainfall is derived by a increased frequency of light to moderate rain events rather than an extreme consecutive burst. And this shift is statistically supported by the positive consecutive wet day trends. And furthermore, the very wet day rain, which is denoted by R95P, shows a spatial dichotomy, which shows that there is a significant increase in the rain, especially in the northern Midlands. Next, regarding the objective number 2, which is hydrothermal coupling analysis.
Last
Here
2 minutes, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay. Here the Pearson correlation analysis trend shows selective coupling where provides insights into the district feedback system. A highly significant strong negative correlation can be seen between diurnal temperature range and the extreme rainfall. And it shows a narrowing of the thermal envelope, which is a direct functioning of the rising nighttime minimums. Next, coming to the third part, which is the zonal multi-hazard risk and hotspot identification, where I have created the compound climate index based on the intensity of multi-hazard exposure across the district, where I have classified it into very high compound risk, high compound risk, moderate compound risk, low and very low risk. You can see these are the maps of hydrological stress index and thermal stress index based on those 12 parameters. In terms of hydrological stress index, the very high is represented on the northern blocks and low can be found on the eastern side. In terms of thermal stress index, the very high thermal stress index is found in the southern region. And next is the compound climate index. Similar to the other two indexes, it's been classified into very low, low, moderate, high, and very high. Very high is been situated in the southernmost parts of the district, and a bivariate quadrant analysis and climate regime has been conducted, which characterizes the nature of the climate shift, and it's been classified into thermal zone, hydrological zone, compound zone, and stable zone. As you can see in the map, stable zone represents the green area, and which is region which maintains both thermal and hydrological anomalies below the district-wide standardized mean. Then you can see the hydrological zone, which is situated in the northern side, which is driven by the hydrological volatility rather than the thermal peaks. Then the thermal zone, which is situated in the south, which is represented by the red color, is the region which faces acute warming trends coupled with negative hydrological anomalies. And in terms of a compound zone, which expresses both the thermal as well as hydrological problems, is represented by purple color in the map. Now coming to the final discussion on climatic dynamics, a nocturnal stabilization can be found where the nighttime flow temperatures are rising, are lowering, even in the highland zones. Then a precipitation paradox where the shift from convective burst to frequent temperature precipitation can be seen. Then there is an atmospheric decoupling where the peak heat and extreme rains are statistically independent, which confirms that they operate under different atmospheric driven as different atmospheric parameters. Then finally, the spatial regime divergence where the warming core has migrated to the south, while the northern regions can be classified as a hydrological zone. Now, finally, the conclusion part. So we can conclude that Thiruvananthapuram district is transitioning into a warm, wet climate region, which is characterized by the nocturnal thermal stabilization and a rainfall paradox with increasing volume, but in declining intensity. Then zonal upscaling is necessary to identify the multi-hazard hotspots. And regime specificity is very important where risk is spatially decoupled, and where it can also be identified that the southern corridor follows a thermal zone while the northern follows a hydrological zone. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry for asking you to complete before time. Sorry,
Okay.
on time, because it's a big project. You have done a beautiful research work focusing on Thiruvananthapuram district. And so it's a good study, ma'am. Participants from geography domain, you all are from geography domain. You can ask any questions, or at least you can appreciate her because she has done lot of work. She has given his lot of was that the guide used the student very much. She has given all the detailed work. Any kind of questions is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Lata,
Appreciation.
ma'am. Yes, Lata, please. Yes,
Yeah,
please,
thank you.
please.
Appreciation, Ms. Swati, and happy to see you representing Department of Geography, Madre Kamraj University, where I too did my PhD.
Thank
Just
you.
a suggestion. Yeah, thank you. Just a suggestion.
Okay.
30 years is the standard for climate normals, but
Yes.
using 60 plus years provides better insights into the cyclical pattern, especially doing PhD. If a region has high precipitation variability, like your study area, Kerala, longer data sets, that is 40 to 60 plus years are needed to ensure the analysis is not skewed by the exceptional wet or dry years. Just a
Yes.
suggestion.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
if you
Ma'am,
could-
this is just a part of my work because still it is going on. So
Yeah.
thank you for the valuable words.
Yes, thank you so much. Your guide is my close friend. Thank you so much, and over to the organizer.
Yes. Even I also thank you, Dr. Lata, ma'am. You gave a valued input. Definitely, it will make an impact on the history studies. Yes. Let
Thank
me
you.
invite Chayanika Bora, student from PG Department of Geography, Assam University, Diplomas campus. She'll be presenting the paper on
Yes, sir.
morphometric analysis of Dunai River Basin, Assam, India. Is there, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can present.
Sir, my slide is visible.
Visible beta. Chodu.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Sure.
Myself, Soinika Bora. Today, I am going to present my research work on morphometric analysis of the Dudhnoi River Basin, Assam, India.
Okay, fine. If the slide is not moving, no problem. You start the class.
Okay, sir.
थोड़ा फटाफट जल्दी करो बेटा. The ज़्यादा लोग हैं.
Morphometric analysis is the quantitative study of the shape, size, drainage characteristics of a river basin. It helps us understand how water flows in a basin, erosion and landform development, flood potential, and groundwater availability. Objective. The main objective of my study are to analyze the geomorphological characteristics of the Dubno River Basin, to apply geospatial tools like GIS and remote sensing for morphometric analysis. Study area. The study area is the Dudhno River Basin located in Gwalpar, district of Assam. It lies between latitude 25 degree 53 minute to 26 degree 30 minute north and longitude 90 degrees 07 minute to 91 degrees 05 minute east. The total catchment area is about 1,824 square kilometer. Methodology. For the study, I use SRTM DEM data and Survey of India topography. First, the study area was selected and DEM data was processed. Then, stream networks were extracted and basin boundaries were delineated using GIS tools. Finally, different morphometric analysis were calculated under three categories: linear aspects, aerial aspects, relief aspects. Linear aspects, these related to the drainage networks topology, including stream order, stream length. Aerial aspects, this analyzes the surface area spatial distribution of the basin, including runoff generation. This category analyzes drainage density, basin shape, etc. Relief, this analyzes vertical dimension and elevation variation, include basin relief, absolute relief, etc. Linear aspects of these parameters including stream order. Stream order denotes the hierarchical position of streams within a drainage basin. According to Stellar's method, the Dudhnoi River Basin is a fourth-order basin. There are 106 first order, 13 second order, 3 third order, and 1 fourth order. A high number of first order streams indicates active erosion and dissection. Bifurcation ratio. The bifurcation ratio is the ratio between streams of successive orders. The mean bifurcation ratio is 3.87, which indicates rapid flow concentration and high probability. Stream length. According to Horton's law, stream length increases with stream order. Short stream indicates steep slopes, while longer streams indicate gentle slopes. Dudhnoi River Basin, the total length of streams 261.19 km first stream length, 156.87 km second stream length, 86.44 km third stream length, and 51.40 km fourth order stream length. Aerial aspects analysis is drainage density. Drainage density is the total length of stream per unit area. The Dudhnoi River Basin categorizing into 5 classes like very low, low, moderate, high, very high. The basin's overall drainage density is 0.3, which falls within the moderate category. Drainage frequency, it is the number of streams per unit area
Hold
higher
on,
than...
last 2 minutes, Babu. Last 2 minutes, Babu.
Okay, sir. Relief aspects. Relief aspect analysis, relative relief. Relative relief is the difference between highest and lowest elevation. High relief areas indicate steep slopes, high erosion, faster runoff. The whole basin classified into 5 classes. The downstream part of the TNOU River basin comes under the floodplain. Absolute relief, it represents the total elevation of landforms like hills and plains. It helps in identifying physiographic divisions. The absolute relief of the study area has been defined for every 25 kilometers square. Conclusion, the TNOU River Basin is a four-order basin with a high number of lower-order streams. The basin shows characteristics of both youthful and mature geomorphic stages. Drainage parameters indicate moderate runoff and good groundwater potential. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Pinky Saika is there? Pinky Saika,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm
followed by
here.
Pinky Bora, sir.
No, sir, I'm Pinky Sakia.
Okay, Pinky Bora. Okay. Over to you, Pinky Bora. Now we will have a presentation on Pinky Saika, Department of
Okay, sir.
Geography, School of Earth Sciences, Assam University, and Dipu campus. She will be presenting the topic on lateral channel migration, a study on lower Varnati River, Assam. India. Over to you, Babu.
Yes, sir. Sir, my slide is visible or not?
Visible beta.
Okay, sir. First of all, very good afternoon to one and all present here.
Yes,
I'm
good
Pinky
evening.
Sakia from Assam University, Difu campus, Difu, Assam. I'm presenting on the lateral channel migration, a study on lower Barnadi River, Assam, India. My guide is Dr. C. Prakasam, sir, Associate Professor, Assam University, Difu campus, Geography Department. So, as we all know, rivers are the dynamic system. They change their course through different processes such as lateral channel migration, erosion, transportation, and deposition. The term channel migration refers to the lateral movement of river channel over the time. There are different factors to control channel migration, such as sediment characteristics, bank material, valley slope, vegetation covers, etc. The Bernadi River, which is my study area, tributary originating in the Bhutan hills and flowing through the districts, mainly Baksa, Udalguri, Dorong, Kamrup in Assam. Here are some my literature review. In my study, there are some research gap also, such as lack of detailed spatio-temporal analysis of channel migration, migration rate, driving factors, and socio-economic impacts. So this paper aims to address this gap through detailed mapping, quantification, and analysis of lateral channel in the basin. There is only one objective in my study, which is to analyze the channel migration of lower Bernadi River, Assam, India. Now, coming to the study area, Bernadi is the major tributary of Brahmaputra Valley. This river itself presents political boundary between the Udalguri and Dorong district of Assam. There are three main tributaries, Kalpani, Dimila, and Bernadi. There are different species available in the basin, such as Sal, Teak, Simulu, Otenga, Gamari, Segun, Shishu, Kadam, etc. The basin land are using in different land use categories, such as 16.401 km square for sandbar, 11.232 kilometers square for plantation, 10.16 kilometers square for wetland, 11.126 kilometers square for tea garden, 16.119 kilometers square for forest, and 16.260 kilometers square for agricultural land. And 62% of total rainfall occurs during June to September in this basin. Now coming to my methodology part. To analyze the channel migration, I have used multi-sensor satellite imagery spanning year from 1980 to 2025 over a 40-kilometer floodplain stretch from upstream to confluence. Then, the river platform features were extracted using GIS tool. After that, temporal analysis identified 7 major cutoff and associated oxbow lake formation, highlighting intense channel migration and floodplain dynamics. So this is there are showing 2 diagrams. I have extracted river from the Google Earth Pro and then I have prepared some channel thalwags. Here, the left bank of the river indicate by the red color and the right bank of the river indicate by the green color. So to prepare the channel thalwags, I have been use ArcGIS platform. This is my result and discussion part. In the results and discussion part, after prepare the thalwags, I have prepared one cross section to identifying the channel migration in the both side. Here in this graph, the upper part of the graph is showing positive, and it is showing the right bank of the river, and the lower part which is showing negative refer the left bank of the river. This graph is used the migration distance in the meters in y-axis and number of cross section in the x-axis. The major channel shifting happens in the year between 2010 to 20. So in the conclusion, the river is highly meandering, shaped by extensive alluvial deposits and so frequent channel migration and avulsion leading to oxbow lake formation. This changes significantly affects settlement, agricultural land properties of the basin area. So from this study, I was able to achieve my objective by the specific methodology. These are some photographs of my basin and the river. And here are some reference of this paper. So thank you so much. If there are any queries, then you can ask me. I am ready.
Thank you so much, dear, for completing on time, before time. Thank you so much. It's a good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Only one thing is, no, go to your PPTs. Go to your PPTs. First
Sir,
slide.
pardon?
First slide, please go to your first slide.
Okay, wait.
Introduction slide.
Okay.
Yes. Normally, introduction slide, no.
Yes.
Many of your PPTs are not visible to us because you have the font is too small. So kindly make it when you're preparing the PPT. Make it as what was that font should be little big. It will be easy for the readers to read because we normally feel quite difficult to read. It is too small, and apart from that, remaining things are good. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I will try to give my best in the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
time.
fine. Thank you. Pinky Bora is not there, I think so. She told me that she's having a technical issue. Fine. Manisha Patak is there? Manisha Patak?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Manisha Patak from Department of Geography. She'll be presenting the paper on assessment of food vulnerability through an integrated approach using fuzzy logic method and geoinformatics, a study on Jyalda River Basin of Assam. So we have 4 presenters, all the 4 paper presentations, no, all those kids are from Assam, and they have been one guide. He has seriously guided all the students. We have to thank Professor Dr. C. Prakasam sir for guiding this many students for this presentation. And we have nearly about 4 to 5 papers from this particular department alone. So big congratulations and what was a sincerely we are thankful to the Department of Geography, particularly to the Professor Dr. C. Prakasam sir. Over to you, Babu, Manisha.
Sir, my screen is visible, sir.
Yes, visible.
Yes, sir. Myself, Manisha Pathak, research scholar, Department of Geography from Assam University, Diffu campus. My topic of the presentation is assessment of flood vulnerability through an integrated approach using fuzzy logic method and geoinformatics, a study on Jiadhal River Basin of Assam, India. So these are the content of my presentation. Now coming to introduction. So globally, each and every countries of the world affected by flood annually, and in India, Assam is one of the most flood affected state. Here I have selected the Jiadhal River Basin, which is create devastating flood in every monsoon season, and and it create a huge destruction in the lower part of the Brahmaputra valley. So here I have used the fuzzy logic method to prepare the flood vulnerable maps of the river basin. Vulnerability mainly determine the degree to which a community is susceptible to harm from a flood, and it help to identify the flood vulnerable areas of the area. So this is the objective, to identify flood vulnerable area of Jiadhal River Basin by preparing a flood vulnerability map. This is my study area map. And the Jiadhal River Basin is originated in West Siang districts of Arunachal Pradesh, and it in Assam, it flowing through two districts, mainly Lakhimpur and Dhemaji. After that, it joined in a tributary of and it joined in Subansiri River, which is the largest tributary of Brahmaputra River. This is the flow chart of the methodology. Here I have used the Elospalser Dam to extract the all thematic maps of flood influencing factors. Here I have used 8 flood influencing factors, which are here it is given: LULC, rainfall, soil type, distance from river, NDVI, absolute relief, drainage density, slope. First, I have converted all vector layers into raster surface. After that, fuzzy membership is selected based on the data characteristics and the way the data contribute to the risk of vulnerability. After all data are converted into 0 to 1 scale, and after creating fuzzy membership layer, a fuzzy overlay is applied to prepare the final flood vulnerability map. And after that, again I classified into 5 classes. Now I coming to the result and discussion. So these are the flood influencing factors I have used. Here I have maps I have here showing. This is land use land cover map, average annual rainfall map. This is the soil map and NDVI map. And this is the absolute relief map of the study area. This is the distance from river map. This is the slope map, and this one the drainage density map. Here it is the final map of my study. This is the flood vulnerability map. So based on the vulnerability, I again classify into 5 classes: very low, low, moderate, high, and very high. So the red color here showing the very high flood vulnerable zone, and the green here showing very low, and yellow the low. So in this map, it is found that the northern portion of the basin, which is mainly mountainous area, the Arunachal part, the vulnerability is very less due to the presence of high dense vegetation, steep slopes, and the population density also very less in that part of the region. And in the southern part, the Brahmaputra Valley, the vulnerability is very high due to the low relief, and the slope also as a level, and the density also very high, and the land use land cover also contribute because of that agriculture land also here in the lower part of the basin, population also. So this part is more vulnerable during flood. This is here the table showing the area wise flood vulnerability zone, and it is also here found that very high and high vulnerability zone cover maximum area of the basin compared to the moderate and very low and low. Now I come to the conclusion part. So the vulnerability measurement of vulnerability helps to identify the vulnerable areas and to adopting an effective measures. It also helps to improve our understanding about the flood risk vulnerability, and it can support the decision maker in decreasing damage and the mortalities. And this resulted map of the study area of the present study will help different state and central government official and local authorities to implement policy in the region and reduce flood impact of the region. And for validation of the resulted map, I have in the present study, I compared with the historical record related to the previous flood. These are my some references here I have used. So now here I'm concluding my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manisha.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Is Indra? Indra is there? Assistant Professor, Department of History. Indra ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here.
Yeah, you both of you presenting on paper, no? Havnika and Indra, right?
Havanika is presenting, sir.
Yeah, fine. Havanika,
Yeah.
please. Yeah, Havanika from
sir.
the
Second
Department
degree
of History, Ethiraj College for
Ethiraj
Women,
College for
Chennai.
Women. Yes, sir.
Yes, affiliated to University of Madras. They will be presenting the paper on mangrove degradation and cyclone risk reduction, comparative study of Sundarbans and Pichawara mangroves.
Pichavaram.
Super.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, over to you.
Over to Havanika, sir.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Audible, Havanika, correct?
Yes. Is my screen visible, sir?
Visible. F5 கொடுங்க. Fine. Okay, da.
Yes. So, happy evening to all. Myself, Havanika, secondary history, Ethiraj College. So, we have done our research on the topic mangrove degradation and cyclone risk reduction, a comparative study on Sundarbans and Pichavaram mangroves. So, for the introduction, the mangrove forests are a salt-tolerant coastal ecosystem with a unique adaptation. Like these forests are so unique that these are grown in the salty waters. And the importance of these forests are they are the natural bio shields against the cyclone, storm surge, and the erosion. And these plays a vital role in the coastal protection and cyclone risk reduction. And the increasing threats for these mangrove forests are the climate change and the human activities. So we made our study sites on the Sundarbans and Pichavaram. So our objective and the aim of this paper is to examine the mangrove degradation in the both areas, which is Sundarbans and the Pichavaram, and analyze the role of mangroves in the cyclone risk reduction, and then compare the Sundarbans and Pichavaram with its size, degradation, exposure, and the efficiency. And we have given our suggestion on the conservation and restoration measures. The aim of this paper is to comparatively analyze of the degradation and the cyclone production. So for the data source and methodology, we have made a comparative approach with the use of primary tool Google Earth Pro satellite imagery. And in that, we have used the historical imagery for the change detection and used our secondary data from the articles and the Indian State Forest Reservation reports, books, and invest modeling. And the parametrics are the size, biodiversity, degradation level, cyclone exposure, and protection efficiency. So the first study area, Sundarbans.
This located in the Ganges and the Brahmaputra Delta in the West Bengal, and the ecological significance of these are it's an UNESCO World Heritage with the high biodiversity and the tiger habitation. And this is a cyclone prone. Frequent Bay of Bengal storms are featured in these areas. For the example, we can check the 2020's Apan cyclone. And the second steady area is Pichavaram. This is located in the Kadalur district, Tamil Nadu, with the size of 1,100 hectares, and it's an Ramsar site, one of the Ramsar site, and the ecological importance of these are it has a dense creeks and the support and it supports the fisheries and tourism. This is a well-known place in the Tamil Nadu for tourism, and by the coastal protection role, it has acted a buffer against the 2004 tsunami and the cyclone Thani. So for the mangrove degradation in Sundarbans, the natural causes are cyclones and sea level rising, and the human causes are reduced fresh water and settlement pressures. I have added the visual evidence of where the shorelines retained by the sea-facing island, which specifically are taken from the Shagar Island. So the first image is from the 1948 period, where the near the Sagar Island, we can see the more forest of the mangroves around it with the greenery. By the 2020, the riverside have been enlarged and it has reduced the mangrove growth over there. I have compared this picture with the before and after. And this is 1984's picture, and this is 2020 picture. And then for the mangrove degradation in Pichavaram, the main pressures Pichavaram sees is the tourism boat traffic, where the more tourism boats making a large amount of traffic, which disturbs the ecosystem and as well as the species, and the pollution and aquaculture. The positive trend of these places by the government initiative, the net expansion through the community plantation have been gained 28% from the period of 2003 to 2019. And the challenges which the Pichavaram are facing is the localized hypersalinity and the dieback of the specific species. So I have added the Google Earth imagery image of the both before and after of Pichavaram. This is from the 2000 level. We can see the riverside has a great plantation near it, and by the 2024 we can see a reddish area. These are the diebacks, and the river area can be seen with the less amount of species. These are mainly due to the tourism boat traffic and pollution made by that. And this area was from 2022, where they started the plantation side of restoring it. And this is the current like 2025 picture, where they have recorded some places from here, and the mangroves are getting to restore in these areas. And role of mangroves in the cyclone risk reduction. The mangroves plays a mechanism like a wave energy suspension and the wind speed reduction. The sediment trapping, trapping and the flood prevention are the main thing of this mangrove forest. The benefits of this mangrove forest are protecting of life, properties, and livelihoods of coastal communities. So I have added the pictorial of the mangrove forest in the disaster
Avanika,
risk.
last 2 minutes, ma.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. And I have made a comparative table for comparative analysis for the both Sundarbans and Pichavaram. The first is size and biodiversity. Sundarbans has a large and higher diversity, and whereas the Pichavaram is small but known for its tourism. And degradation level, Sundarbans face more degradation due to a widespread of cyclone driven, and the Pichavaram is seeing the degradation level by localized human induced. And the cyclone exposure both has the high, but Sundarbans face the more intensive events like frequent cyclones in those areas. So that for the discussion, we have made that degradation directly increase the cyclone risk, which the buffering, when the buffering gets weak, the higher surge and erosion can be uprise. And the difference in the vulnerability, the scale and the dominant drives the vary between the both sides. And for the key insight, we use the Google Earth visual clearly to reveal the pattern of loss and the recovery. And finding of this paper is to know the mangroves remain effective natural barrier when healthy, and the Pichavaram shows us the restoration potential, and the Sundarbans needs a large scale resolution measure, and the degradation reduce the protection efficiency in the both area. So the suggestion and the recommendation from us are the conservation as strict CRZ, which is the coastal regulation zones, enforcement and the protection of existing mangroves, and restoration of native species planting, and freshwater management under the MISHT scheme, and the policies integrating these ecosystem-based disaster risk reduction into the national and state plans, and the community involvement by involving the locals into the monitoring and sustainable livelihood can enhance the protection of these mangroves. So for the conclusion, the summary of this is mangroves conservation is essential for cyclone risk reduction. And the final remark is timely restoration and community participation can strengthen the local resilience. So thank you.
Thank you, Havanika, for a beautiful presentation. You are the first one who are doing the presentation in undergraduate category. Good presentation. Now let me invite Dr. Lata ma'am, guest lecturer, Department of Geography, Bharatidasan University, Tiruchirappalli. Ma'am, your topic is two title, ma'am. Are you going to present on two titles or any one title?
Yeah, thank you, sir. So we have two presentations, and the presentation will be.
Okay.
Yeah, one sec, sir. The presentation will be delivered by my students. One by Ms. Rajeshwari, the PG student, and the other topic by Ms. Rajalakshmi, the UG student.
Okay, ma'am. Kindly please be on time, ma'am. Kindly please be on time. Kindly please be on time, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Their serial number is 42 and 44. Can they go ahead now?
Fine. Let them complete through that.
Thank you so much.
So, good evening, Chair, panel, and members, and all participants. I am Radha Rajeshwari. I will share my screen in a short while. Good evening, all. I am Radha Rajeshwari from Department of Geography, Bharatidasan University, and under the guidance of Dr. S. Lata ma'am, along with my co-author, Ms. V. Rajalakshmi, we have done a research on optimal rainwater harvesting sites in Madurai Municipal Corporation. So the introduction is freshwater resources are extremely depleting worldwide, and one of the major problems in urban areas are when urban water resilient. In India is a most in India, India is the most urban rapidly growing region. Most of and Tamil Nadu has a lot of urban growing regions, and Madurai is one of the regions that is classified under critical zone where groundwater extraction is in really exceeding the recharge levels by CGWB. So we have taken that as into our account, and we have done a study on Madurai Municipal Corporation. So this is a study area. So Madurai Municipal Corporation covers roughly 148 kilometers, and it accommodates. It is populated by roughly 1.017 million people with census of 2011. The major water bodies are Vaigai River. Along with it, the municipal area also has Sellur Lake and Vandiur Mariamman Tank. These are the three major water bodies from where the municipal corporation gets its water. And the major events that happened were 2015 floods. And Madurai is also my native town, so I know that from 2016 to 2019 we had a prolonged drought and a gradual decrease in water, our groundwater resource. So the objective of the study is to collect and prepare relevant data for the study area and to evaluate the site suitability of our rainwater harvesting sites using weighted overlay, MCDA, and RF techniques. And after finding the suitable regions, we have to identify the optimal locations for the RWH. So this is our methodology. Uh, from SRTM done, we have derived a drainage density, slope, and dam. From OSM, we have taken the road network and settlement. From NASA Power Data, we obtained the rainfall data, and from NBSSLUP, we have obtained soil. From Google Earth Engine, we derived from using Google Earth Engine from Landsat, we have derived NDVI, NDBI, TWI, LULC, and from Bhuvan, we have taken the lineament. After acquisition these data, we have reclassified them and used them to derive weighted overlay, MCDA, and RF results. So these are our results. These are our parameters. These are the reclassified parameters. And we have given more weightage to rainfall slope and build-up areas, as the region is Madurai Municipal Corporation. So this is our result. As you can see, the weighted overlay classified very high result compared to MCDA and RF. In MCDA, you can see the very low regions are highlighted compared to the other twos, and in RF, the very high suitability zones are less, but very low and moderate regions are high. So this is the derived result. So in ML, very low region is ML classified very low region more than weighted overlay and MCDA. But from the numbers we can derive that there is more moderate region than other results. And for validating the RF result, we have taken ground well locations data from Central Groundwater Board, and we have obtained accuracy of 0.98, accuracy of 98.6%. So our conclusion is there's a need for a rainwater suitability analysis in Madurai Municipal Corporation. There is a variability in the there was a variability in the in rainfall and drought. The result indicates that the moderate suitability is more compared to other suitable classifications. So this is rainwater harvesting implementation is to reduce the groundwater depletion. So it is very useful for urban water resilience in the study area. So these are our references. Thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
let me
Lata,
present my present.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, what you said at the end was not audible, sir.
Dr. Ladaji, there are two presenters, right? One has done now, as another one, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both of the same
Sir,
are
she will
present.
present. Oh, no, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
she will present now, sir.
Yeah, fine. Guys, we have half an hour time. We are supposed to complete everything by 5:30 to 5:45. It's almost 2 hours done. So requesting you to please inform the topic and go for the discussion. Sorry, go for the methodological part. Go for the discussion and then we will go for discussion. Anyway, I also have to talk in the final, no? Please. Yes, start. Rajlakshmi ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, honorable present. Myself, Rajalakshmi, doing third year BSc in Department of Geography, Bharatdasan University. So I'll be presenting about spatial temporal dynamics of urban heat islands in Tiruchirappalli, a multi-decadal GE pipeline integrating Landsat and nighttime light data. So the climate change is basically a factor which changes the climate patterns over a period of time. It could be temperature, rainfall, wind that continues for more than a decade. And urban heat islands are basically the areas where cities experience higher temperature than nearby rural regions. So why we are doing this study for Tiruchirappalli? It is because the rapid urbanization and loss of green cover are intensifying the urban heat island effects. And then uh, the frequent records of temperature are above 40 degrees Celsius in this area. This constitutes in health risk and lack of localized planning. This is my study area where uh, we have taken the Municipal Corporation of Trichy with 65 wards and area of approximately 167.23 kilometers square, and with a population of 1 lakh of over 1 lakh population. The objectives of our study is to build an automated and scalable workflow using Google Earth Engine, and then to analyze the urban heat island effect in the study area with multi-temporal satellite data, and then to assess the impact of urbanization on temperature variation by comparing build-up areas and the vegetation cover. So this is our methodology. We have taken data from Landsat 5 and 8, as well as nighttime lights data from DMSE and then VIIRS. So from Landsat, we have derived land surface temperature, normalized difference vegetation index, and then a build-up index. And we have combined both of them, the nighttime data as well as the Landsat data, to derive the heat trapping index in the particular region. So we have done from 2005. Here, when we see the maps, the LST is increasing in the areas where buildup is high, and which constitutes heat island over here. We have derived this into 3 zones. The first zone is having high heat being trapped in that particular region, and comparatively low in the other 2 regions. When it comes to 2010, there is a drastic increase in the urban heat island effect because of increase in buildup and the industrial regions. As well as in 2015, the heat index has been raised and the NDVI, the vegetation factor, has been reduced. When it comes to 2020, the heat island effect is comparatively reduced because of the COVID period. I guess you all remember. During the COVID period, there was not much transportation or else the nightlight data, the human interaction with the environment. So it has drastically reduced, and the amount of NDVI, in the sense the vegetation, was also increased during that period of time. And in 2025, it has been doubled the amount. The urban heat island effect is doubled because of our frequent usage. And from these results, we conclude that whenever we are whenever there is a high buildup in a particular region with high nightlight radiance, it constitutes in heat being trapped inside that particular region, and which can cause a lot of health impacts as well as pollution. So the study demonstrates how urban heat island is significantly intensifying in Tiruchirappalli region. And then the heat island has been observed more in the zone 1, in the zone 1 region, and then it is being reduced in zone 2 and then in zone 3. The way forward of our study is integrating machine learning for the future prediction 2030. These are our references. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, both of you, for your good presentation. Now, let me invite Mr. Shashanka Gogoi, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Moran College, Dirbhagura University. Guys, last 25 minutes more. So please start on time. Only 5 minutes I can give you. Introduce the topic, go to the methodology, and go to the findings, and go to the conclusion. More than enough. We have only 25 minutes of time. We are supposed to complete by 5, but I have exceeded another half an hour. Please.
So is it visible?
Visible.
Morning all and present here, respected chairperson, and all in on my fellow researchers and delegates. Today I am going to present my research work on Sanghor as ethno-cultural text, symbolism, ritual practice, and collective memory among the missing and neighboring ethnic communities of Assam. Actually, a Sanghor is a tilted house which is built to register flood. If you are from northeast, then it is very commonly found. But if you are from outside of northeast, then it is very rarely found. What is Sanghor? Sanghor is a tilted house actually, which is built by tribal communities resided in the river banks and the mountainous areas. A Sanghor, a traditional stilt house of the missing community, represents more than functional shelter. It embodies cultural symbolism, environmental knowledge, and social organizations. This study interprets the Sanghor as an ethnocultural text that encodes value, rituals, and memories embedded in daily life of indigenous communities in Assam. Here's my conceptual background. Sanghor evolved as an adaptive response to recurrent flooding in the Brahmaputra Valley, as Brahmaputra Valley is well known to the flood condition, very severe flood condition actually. And every year, Brahmaputra Valley residents are facing difficult problems due to flood from the Brahmaputra Valley as well as from the Barak River. Indigenous housing traditions across Northeast India demonstrate strong linkages between architecture and ecology, which is a very important part of the indigenous knowledge system among the missing communities and the other tribal communities such as Deori communities, such as Sunwal Kasaris, and the other tribes of Northeast India, which is commonly found actually. Northeast India is a host a region of tribal dominance. Statement of the problem. Despite increasing modernization and urbanization, the cultural significance of Sanghor remains under-documented. The existing research often focuses on the architectural features, which while overlooking symbolic meaning and ritual associations. So my aim of the study is those. The objectives of the study. The objectives aims to interpret the Sanghor as an ethnocultural text reflecting symbolism and ritual practice. It seeks to document architectural features, analyze the ritual significance associated with domestic space. Okay. I rewrite this actually. The methodology part. The study adopts basically the qualitative ethnographic methods, including the participant observation, oral history collection, and semi-structured interviews. The secondary sources such as ethnographic literature and cultural archives were used to supplement field-based observation and contextual findings. The architectural feature of Sanghor. The Sanghor are elevated structures supported by bamboo or wooden silt designed to withstand seasonal flood, as I already mentioned. The elongated layout includes spaces such as living platforms, kitchen, and storage area.
Sir, last 2 minutes, sir.
Okay, sir. This is a data table, as you can see. This is Sangor, a traditional tilted house built by the tribal communities of missing, such as missing deuries. You can see. So this is a again data table. Then symbolism in spatial organization. Elevated platforms significantly protected protection from the natural hazards and spiritual impurities, reinforcing the cultural significance of spatial hierarchy within the domestic environment. The ritual practice associated with Sanghar. The Sanghar serve as a ritual spaces during festivals, life cycle ceremonies, and agricultural rites. The rituals such as the Ali Ligam, which is a major agricultural festival of missing tribe, involves the offering prepared within the household. So this is again a data table that Ali Gang, marriage ritual, harvest ritual, ancestor worship, and house building ceremony, as you can see. Sangor's environmental adaptation. The elevated design of the Sangor demonstrate adaptive strategies to flooding and humid climatic condition. Use of breathable materials enhance the ventilation, while flexible bamboo structures absorb environmental stress. The comparative cultural aspects. Now, it is less important actually. Uh, Impact of modernization. The modernization, due to modernization, the materials and changing lifestyle, as the gradual replacing the traditional sangars, concrete houses reduces the reliance on indigenous architectural method. As you can see, the declining trends of sangar in 1990 to present 2025 and 20. As you can see, the percentage over here. Preservation and cultural sustainability. Preserving Sanghors requires integrating indigenous architectural knowledge into contemporary development planning. Community-based conservation initiative and cultural documentation can help the safeguard of traditional practices such as Sanghar and all the other indigenous ecological knowledges. So I acknowledge the author acknowledges the valuable contribution of the community elders, local artisans, and cultural practitioners who shared these knowledge and experiences. In conclusion part, the Sangor functions as a living ethnocultural text that symbolizes ecological adaptation, ritual symbolism, and collective memory among the missing and neighboring communities of Assam. Its architectural design reflects the indigenous environmental wisdom, while its spatial organization sustains cultural continuity. Here are my references, and thank you so much for listening.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Thank you so much, sir. And let me invite Divya Sushan Rajan. Are you there? Divya, ma'am? Okay,
Yes, sir,
fine.
I'm here, sir.
Yeah.
Ah,
Ma'am,
yes, sir.
you have done for 2 papers.
Yes, sir.
One paper you can present, ma'am.
Okay, so I
Second
will
one
be only
is
able to present one, like,
one
because
paper you
one
can
I.
present. Yeah.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Visible, ma'am. Visible, ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Divya Susan Rajan. I will be presenting my first paper on gig economy and its perspective on disaster governance and policy perspective. So this is a I'm from Department of Corporate Economics from Women's Christian College. And gig economy, as we know, is like something which is forming as like kind of a forefront of our informal sector now. More and more people are actually getting involved with respect to gig work, which is like a platform based work altogether. In fact, there's a projection with respect to 13% increase in the annual growth rate by the end of 2030. So this as a topic I am including and trying to link it with respect to how climate change and disasters is affecting the gig workers with respect to the state of Chennai. So I have taken a primary data from Chennai gig workers and also compared some secondary data from International Labour Organization and the state governance altogether. Usually we don't like there is not much research done with respect to gig economy. Even in India, like the basics of the research have been done only in terms of the socio-economic demographies as such, or basically how it's improving lifestyle for them. But there is very few research in terms of the climate change and intensified disasters, both man-made as well as natural, like floods and heat waves that affect this sector of the society. So we, based on the data that I've collected, I have a few observations to present. One is in terms of the socioeconomic profile, the relevance of what makes these gig workers actually continue their work, the challenges that they face, and of course the political or policy based incentive that is given to these sectors, and the climatic risk impact that is there in terms of gig economy. So based on this, we have like I have taken a methodology based on primary data and its purposive sampling. In this data, the limitation that I have is for all the 110 observations that I've taken, majority of them are belonging to the the delivery outcome of gig economy. I've not included freelancers or the social media enthusiast as in terms of a picture, because I felt over the research gaps that was there, this is one sector that needs primary importance, especially in terms of disaster management. So based on the data that is collected, predominantly on the basis of the 110 data that has been taken, majority it is a male, young youth have been engaged with respect to this delivery based services, even though in the recent researches now, women, because of this digital platform altogether, women have also started entering the field. And 45% of all these gig workers actually fall in the bracket of 25 to 30 age group. Actually more than 50% hold a degree, so, and 60% of their work is based on delivery altogether. So I have done my analysis based on how income levels are making these gig workers actually pertain and continue to this job altogether. So based on the data collected, majority of them are now earning an income that is coming in the brackets of 26 to 40,000. So this is actually now like kind of set up, it's stand out as like kind of a way to deal with respect to what the traditional asset sector cannot give us. So statistically significant association exists between income levels and the gig workers' decision to continue in the gig economy. Similarly, there's a negative effect in terms of the challenges that they face, which includes physical strain, weather exposure, platform instability, which actually reduces or leads to them backing out of this sector. There's something called as e-Shram registration, which is an initiative by the government of India to formally, give an identity to these gig workers. So even though 35% of the surveyed gig workers are actually registered in e-Shram portal, however, the policy awareness as well as the benefits with respect to it, especially in times of floods or in times of heat waves, that is still not available to these gig workers. So done a regression analysis based on the income, the working hours and the challenges, along with the e-Shram registration for the gig work continuity, and the model showed 68% satisfaction and 46%. It's a very low percentage. However, the people, when the primary data that was collected, there were few people who have been in this gig work field for more than 4 years. Rest of them were actually 1 year or very new to this area. So probably that was one reason why they could not comment whether they will want to continue with this or not. Again, ANOVA results also confirms that the regression model is statistically significant and puts a variable proportion of the variation in job continuation with respect to the factors altogether. I'll just wind up with respect to the conclusion, linking it with respect to the climatic risk analysis. So when we look at this risk analysis, especially in terms of climate, flood disruptions and heat stress are the two major problems that the gig economy workers are facing, and that leads to actually income instability. And unfortunately, we do not have any platform available for them to get stronger if they face any of these situations. So it highlights structural vulnerabilities in gig economy, including the lack of social security, exposure to climate risk, and weak integration into policy frameworks. And which is another reason why the research is very important, because it should put forward policy perspectives for these workers now that they are contributing more in terms of the economy. So the policy implications are mandatory e-shram registration, climate insurance, that is to introduce a climate-linked insurance scheme to protect these gig workers from weather-related income losses, disaster governance integration to actually, once they are registered in this e-shram, to enable them to link directly with the DRR sector framework will help them also upstand any form of problems that they face. And of course, platform accountability to mandate gig platforms to share responsibility for worker welfare during the climate disaster events. The conclusion with respect to the study is that gig workers are actually highly vulnerable to both economic as well as climate related shocks. Economic shocks is what we constantly have been researching with respect to. Climatic related shocks have not been included in terms of their job challenges, and due to inadequate policy support, it is like it is not being reflected in terms of any data. Even though we have initiatives like eShram, their effectiveness is limited only with respect to those who are part or who have registered. So there's still a huge part of the unorganized sector which is not registered and carrying on with respect to the gig work. So integrating these gig workers into disaster governance system is essential for building resilience and achieving the climate action goals under the SDG 13. So this is my research for the first part, sir. Any questions?
Yes, participants, any questions? Okay, thank you, Divya ma'am, for your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Benjamin is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Last 10 minutes more. We have 2 more presentations. Please finish it up on time, sir, please.
Okay, is my speaking machine?
Your voice is breaking.
Am I audible?
No, you're not completely audible. I think that you go loud with 2 devices. Is it true?
Am I audible now? Hello, sir.
Your voice is completely echoing, sir, not completely audible. Participants, what about others? Only me having the problem?
His voice is echoing.
Yes, that is what.
Connected in 2 devices.
It seems like there is a 2 Zoom windows open.
That is what I'm informed.
Yeah, in Benjamin system there is a two Zoom.
Okay, sir.
Okay, meanwhile, we will give a chance to another resource person. Let him get ready. Lal is there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Lal, you can present.
Okay. So is it visible?
Visible.
Okay.
Lal, there are 15 slides in your PPT. Please don't read the PPT.
Yes.
Give me your topic and
Okay.
go to your methodological part. Go to your findings and
All
suggestions
right.
and conclusion. We have only 8 more minutes more.
Okay, good evening. This is my topic, and my name is Arlen Monpur from Department of Geography, Mizoram University. And this is the background, and I will not say all the background. Mizoram is in seismic zone 5, and the study, I'll go to the objective straight. And this is my objective. The main objective of this study are to compare government and private school under a multi-hazard framework, and secondly, to develop a school safety and risk vulnerability index known as SSRVI, and thirdly, to identify the most vulnerable schools for priority intervention. And my study area is in Hat Hill Town, Mizoram. It is a small hill town characterized by steep slope and high rainfall. And we took a total of 20 schools, including 11 government and 9 private schools. As you can see in the map, the schools are distributed across different terrain conditions which influence their vulnerability. And this is my methodology overview. Uh, primary data was collected through field surveys, GPS mapping, and spatial analysis, and three major dimensions were considered: exposure, structural safety, and adaptive capacity. These were integrated using AHP and weighted linear combination methods. And the SSRVI model, uh, it combines of three main components, of which are exposure, structural safety, and adaptive capacity. Its component is given equal weight of 0.33. This ensures simplicity, transparency, and comparability across schools. Its component consists of multiple indicators. Exposure includes slope, drainage, and hazard proximity, and structural safety includes building type, age, and occupant density. Adaptive capacity includes fire safety equipment, evacuation routes, drills, and early warning system. And these are the results overview. The SSRVI values range from 0.20 to 0.500. Most schools fall under the moderate risk category, while some are classified as high risk. Importantly, no school falls under low or very low risk. This indicates that all schools have some level of vulnerability. And the comparison. Government schools saw higher SSRVI values, meaning they are relatively safer. Private schools tend to have higher vulnerability. This difference is mainly due to structural conditions and preparedness level rather than environmental exposure. And the study identified several key issues. There is a lack of fire safety equipment in most schools. Drainage systems are inadequate, increasing landslide risks. Emergency drills are rarely conducted. Many schools are located in hazard-prone areas without proper mitigation measures. And statistical analysis using ANOVA shows that the difference between government and private schools are significant. Structural safety and adaptive capacity are the main factors influencing vulnerability. Exposure, however, does not show significant difference between the two groups. The SSRVI can be used as a practical decision support tool. It helps in prioritizing schools for retrofitting and safety improvements. There is also a strong need to institutionalize regular drills and disaster preparedness programs. In conclusion, all schools in the study area show moderate to high vulnerability. Government schools perform better than private schools. The SSRVI provides a transparent and scalable framework for disaster risk reduction planning. It can be applied to other regions and infrastructure types as well. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir. Really, thank you so much. Benjamin, sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You can present.
Sir, may I
Benjamin,
leave?
sir, you can present.
May I leave?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Benjamin, sir.
Can I present it now?
Yeah, you can present now. We are waiting for you only.
Okay, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Visible, sir. Last 4 minutes, sir.
Okay.
You are about to complete by 4 minutes. Yes.
Yes, sir. Today I'm going to present delineation of groundwater potential zone in Mizoram, India, using the Google Earth Engine and analytical hierarchy process. I'm Benjamin Silo from Mizoram University, and I'm currently a PhD scholar in Center for Disaster Management Department of Geography. Let's zoom it on Mizoram condition. Mizoram is a mountainous region, so and the water ground recharge may depend on its topography, geology, and the effective charge may be not confirmed. That's why we are going to make it groundwater potential zone using the cloud computation. One, the primary goal and objective is that to know where the groundwater potential zone is good and where the potential zone is weak and where they are at risk level. So this is my study area of Mizoram. We are going to compete it on with the whole state. So, and this is my methodology. I create all the 10 thematic layer spatial map in the Google Earth Engine, and I process it through, and I reclassify them in 5 layers, all of them, and I give the weightage of AHP, and it produces the groundwater potential zone, and these are the weightage of the normalized factor weight in the AHP, and let's go to the thematic layer analysis, and we can see the slope map, rainfall gradient, and drainage density. Those are the highest contributing factor in the groundwater potential zone. As we can see in the drainage density, the drainage density determined that where the groundwater fracture may be infiltrates in the surface layer of the earth, and lineament is also one of the most important. 85% of the area is high, and those are topographic wetness index and the soil maps. And on besides of that, we have a geomorphology. Geomorphology, one of the most important, and that it carry a lot of weight to know the infiltration of the water in the groundwater. And here's the groundwater potential zone of Mizoram. So combining all the 10 thematic layers, it create the groundwater potential zone. So we see that the moderate value, the groundwater potential zone moderate value has the highest area of that, counting the 29% of the geographical area, and the lowest part is the 6.38, and the low is 20.50 percentage, and the very high is 16.32. Among all of these, the part of Mizoram, Nathiel district has the highest potential, followed by Sherchi, Blunglei, Longtlai, and Champhai.
Sir, come to the conclusion, sir.
So here's my conclusion. So we should prioritize the high infiltration zone and take a look here and make some amendment to the low prioritized zone. That's for my presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Final presentation, Divya Susan for 2 minutes. She has already done one presentation. She has have 2 papers along with the co-author. This also she'll be presenting, and we'll give her time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I will directly jump to the conclusion. Actually, the study is based on climate change and spatial distribution, a case study of extreme rainfall events for the state of for Chennai as well as Wayanad, since these are the two places wherein rainfall is affecting drastically. The data is secondary source, and I have taken the annual data with respect to rainfall for both these states, and the conclusion is very direct. Like, the key findings are that the reason there is floods or landslides is, when it comes to Chennai, it's because of the surplus rainfall and the bad planning in terms of urbanization that we have. So the departure from normal combined with urban expansion and inadequate drainage is what is creating the flood risk cycle that is worsening each monsoon cycle. When we talk about Wayanad, it is not because of increase in rainfall, it is actually because of the concentrated rainfall, which is triggering landslides in spite of having an annual deficit in terms of rainfall, like 932.9 mm in July alone in 2024 they had received, which is what is affecting the ecological system in terms and creating landslides in Wayanad. So the policy recommendation in terms of Chennai is drainage modernization to redesign stormwater system, which I think the government has now started, wetland restoration, and also make a very strict zoning law regarding land use regulation, and also flood early warning systems. With respect to Wayanad, it is to take care of slope regulation and land use control, restrict construction in high slope zones, ecosystem restoration, promote afforestation programs in that area. Again, landslide early warning system needs to be developed in order to prevent people losing their lives and their properties during landslide events. And of course, initiating and encouraging sustainable agriculture to promote contour farming and terracing to reduce the problems in terms of soil that we can see that leads to more of the problems or in Wayanad in terms of landslide. So that is climate change does not promote uniform impacts. Rather, what we have understood it interacts with the local geography and human system to create differentiated disaster risk. Therefore, we should have climate policy which is spatially adaptive, integrating environment, infrastructure, and social economic dimension for different regions altogether. With that, I close the presentation, sir. If there's any doubt, you can let me know, sir. Any questions regarding the same?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. The last presentation from Laxi Harigaran.
Yes, sir.
From Sri Lanka, the Department of Sociology.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Good evening.
Ma'am,
all.
only 4 to 5
Yeah.
minutes, ma'am. We are running minus 2 minutes because we
Okay,
have
sure.
another meeting by 6 o'clock. Please.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sharing my okay. Hope you can see my slides. So I'm just introducing the research topic, and I'm directly going to the findings and the conclusion part. The
Yes,
topic
ma'am.
is gender aspects in agricultural practices and climate change adaptation in Sri Lanka. So start with it, Vandana. She was the quotation, climate change is not just a problem for the future, it is impacting us every day and everywhere. So of course, this is the outline of this research. It's about the definition of climate change, drought, and gender, the concept. And the background from the gender influences are vulnerability and unequal access to resources. And when we see the research problem, also patriarchal structure is dominating to the research area, and the policy gap also existing in this place. And the objective is to examine the gender resilience in the particular of how gender dynamics influences access to resources, participation and decision making. And also the research about the study seeks to understand the adaptation strategies by identifying. The main objective was to examine the gender resilience by exploring how resilience is experienced and shaped differently across genders in response to various social and economic environmental challenges. Theoretical framework based on the Vandana Shiva's ecofeminist theory. So research methodologies from Sri Lanka. It's one of the districts, Vaunia DS division. It is situated in northern province of Sri Lanka. From that Vaunia district, there are 4 DS divisions. From that 4 DS division, selected Vaunia DS division because it's severely affected by drought. From in terms of climate change, this research is focusing about the drought and gender, their adaptation and agricultural practices. So severely affected the Vaunia DS division. From that DS division, 3 GN division. The GN division means Grammar Surveyor, Grammar Niratari divisions, we calling it. So Nochimote, Pambai Madu and Sambal Thotam were selected for research area, and qualitative data collection from the semi-structured interview and focus group discussion and direct observation use through the purposive sampling methods, and the data analysis through the thematic analysis. This is the data collection methods table. The key findings: patriarchal structure, gender roles, agency and resistance, gendered resilience. There are 4 key findings were gathered from this study. So these are the pictures that I just want to show you. That's how drought affected to these study areas. It's severely affected to them in their, it's based on their farming sector and the gender deviations as well. So quickly go through this climate change and adaptation in gender. This is the basic and the very key findings of this research. So in this community, resistance to traditional dominance and patriarchal structures is becoming increasingly visible. Although inequalities persist, land ownership patterns continue to favor men, limiting women's access to resources, credit and independent decision-making in financial and agricultural activities. So men are often perceived as the primary actors in adaptation strategies, overshadowing the significant yet under-recognized contribution of women. At the same time, women face barriers to participation in agricultural markets due to restrictive social norms and structural constraints, while their roles, knowledge, and perceptions of power are shaped by gendered expectations. So, however, strengthening the connection between local knowledge and traditions presents opportunities to empower women, highlighting that both women's and men's experiences and responses differ based on their socially defined roles and responsibilities. So these are the 2 examples from focus group discussions, how the women and men differentiated by the land ownerships and the resources distributing in the farming sector by gender. And these are the family so the policy implications should be addressed from this study. Need gender sensitive policies, improve land rights in order to the norms and cultural wise, not the legal wise. Legally already proceed for the gender, for the male and female, they can have the registration, but norms is different in terms of land rights. Empower women economically as well. So women are not victims. So they are the people who maintaining the cultural and also the active agents in this particular research area, and inclusive development essential for them, because they need the kind of inclusive development for them, and the active agents of change in this farming sector. So these are the references for my research. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lakshmi ma'am. Lakshi, right?
Yes, I'm Lakshi. Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
Lakshi Gadikaran ma'am. And this paper is from my department, sociology department, and she's from University of Colombo, one of the
Okay.
reputed institution in Sri Lanka. I have visited Sri Lanka twice. Hopefully
Okay.
this time again we will be coming to Southeastern University of Olivil, Sri Lanka. We have a MOU with them. So we used to come to Sri Lanka frequently. Good presentation, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's a
you.
beautiful
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you
Yes, as
so
an
much. And happy.
observer, at this observer, what was that? Let me start from the beginning. Let me start from the one to the last participant, right? And starting from India to Sri Lanka. Sincerely, I have to thank everyone, first of all, because we started the event by 3 o'clock and it is almost going to be 6 o'clock. 3 hours, you people sat in front of a system or phone, and you have done justice for what you have called for. Paper presenting is not a simple task; it's a big task. Particularly, I have to thank Dr. Lata and Dr. One more faculty from Assam for guiding your students. We ourselves have a lot of works in the department. We work for NAC purpose, we work for ARI, ARIA purpose, we work for NRF, NIRF. Apart from all those are daily routine work, and you have guided your students to come to this level. This is not a simple task; it's a big task. So huge congratulations to all the guide to guiding your students to come for this international conference, and your students also. That is one beautiful point in Tamil. புலிக்கு பிறந்தது பூனை ஆகாது. So yes, of course, the whatever you guided your children and your children done justice, and they have really done well, and we are very happy. But anyway, the theory which is highly criticized will be highly valid. அப்படிங்கிற ஆகஸ்ட் காமத்துடைய தியரியை ரொம்ப நான் பிலீவ் பண்றேன். So there are, yes, of course, there are some negativities also there, but I won't say it is negativity. Being a faculty, I won't blame my children because I used to inform my children. I have one wife and 2 daughters. I love them and respect them, but more than that, I love my children. This is what every faculty will do in the class, right? But we won't directly target them and showing the negative aspect, but we used to the method called the sandwich method. So a sandwich has been given now. Now I'm telling you the real fact. What was I have found? Dear participants, my dear loving children, and my dear research scholars, and dear faculty members, my reputed working for the reputed institutions, uh, introduction should be introduced briefly with the theoretical perspectives. Where here I found missing only one concept. You are good in your conclusion part, decision making part, discussion part, conclusion, references, everything was there. But I found what was that crisp எங்க மிஸ் ஆகுதுன்னா ग्रिस व्हाट वाज दैट किधर मिस हो गया था ना इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट में ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन किधर से आना उसमें थियरी से आना so theoretical perspectives is very essential. That is what I told in the second paper theme itself. You are introducing the concept. Everybody knows that Bay of Bengal has water. Indian Ocean also has water. Pacific Ocean also has water, salt water. But the content is what kind of water is there? What kind of living organism is there? What kind of what was that level of water flow is there? Each and everything will be measured by the thematic analysis. So, in the introduction part, I was not able to see the theoretical perspectives. Please write it down. Please write it down. Nobody will teach you like this. I will teach you because my role is to teach research methodology for 7.5 years. 7.5 years. 7.5 வருஷமா research மட்டும்தான் class எடுத்துட்டு இருக்கிறேன். My role is to only publication, taking care of research, proposal writing. So currently I was working with more than crores and crores of projects because my role is a research and developmental coordinator and a research supervisor in the field of sociology, right? I will teach you very clearly. In the introduction point, your theories of you theoretical your paper supposed to be bound under one theory, any one theory. Fine. For example, if you are talking about social problem, we can take about deviant theory. If you are talking about food shortage, we can talk about Malthus theory. So various theories are there. Theory இல்லாம எதுவுமே நடக்காதுப்பா. Right? Basic concern itself theory. Sir, my study comes under this, sir. இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நான் போறேன், sir. Fine. Super. And literature review. Literature review, yes, one more thing I have to. Thematic, what was the definition? So definition நிறைய இதில் நான் பார்க்க முடியல. in that thematic definition mean நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல வர்றீங்க, what you are coming to say here, and how you are converting everything to thematic base. When I was doing my PhD research, what was that, the foreign evaluator gave only one suggestion. Everything is fine, but he failed to add in a thematic way. Then I have took 1 month break. I went to my university, I sat, I have done everything again, then I go send it back to him. Why? Because I was not satisfied. If someone is telling pinpointing my thing, I was not satisfied. I have started reworking with what I have. So with the thematic definition is mandatory. And the second important thing is methodological. Literature review is the heart of thesis. Please write it down. Write it down. Literature review is the heart of thesis. So it is like a doctor doing an open heart surgery. It is like operation success, patient death. If the entire research method, entire literature review is wrong. Operation success, patient also success. That is what called as the success story of the research literature review. That literature reviews focus on up to 5 years. 5 years it is curricular benefits. Go with 10 years, but don't go more than that. Why? Because no, all the entire data will be outdated. And sir, I was not focusing on primary data benefits. Where should I go on? Please move on with the vital statistics. Vital statistics is more than enough. போதும், 4 பக்கம் நீங்க படிச்சாலும் போதும், fine, okay. And apart from the methodology, it's a justification, and you people have done beautiful justification. Why I have selected this, for what purpose I have taken this topic. Everybody beautifully, what was that? Justified the methodological part, and you have easily talked, since you're able to justify the methodology part, it is easy for you people to talk about the conclusion part as well as discussion part. And remember one thing, my dear loving children and faculty members, conclusion should be in one paragraph. Okay, never ever forget this. Conclusion வந்துட்டனாலே அது ஒரு पैराग्राफ था, एक ही एक पैरा था conclusion में, ठीक है, 2 पैराग्राफ नहीं आना पड़ेगा. Okay, so requesting you all to follow this everything, because we are going for publication. Maybe I will give you 5 more days, because I am the in charge for the your book publication. I will be giving you 5 more days to go with the revised paperwork. If you're able to add all those things, the paper looks good, you will go for ISBN book publication. We will send you the details, and then you can send your paper, and we will move for publication. We will release in a proper day. Okay, so huge round of applause, and sincerely thankful to the management and authority and myself, Dr. Bennett. I am working as an assistant professor, as well as research and developmental coordinator, as well as I was working as a research supervisor from the Department of Sociology, Guru Nanak Institution, Chennai. Currently, I am in the medical leave. Actually, I was supposed to reach Chennai, and because of my open heart surgery, I was not able to go anywhere. And this is the first time after my surgery I am attending a technical session. I love to work this. I love to take care of technical session. So everything went well. Sincerely thankful to everyone. Sincerely thankful to everyone, right? And எங்க அம்மா அடிக்கடி சொல்லுவாங்க, 6 பிள்ளை பெத்தாலும் 6 என் பிள்ளை அப்படின்னு, right? So all the பிள்ளை, wherever you are, if you are a student, you are like my student. If you are a faculty, you are like my colleague. And if you are a scholar, you are like my own scholar. So till that love only, I am pointing all your errors. Wherever you went wrong, please rework it again. And one more important thing, I have to talk. One person, Divya, particularly for Divya Susa, one person can present only one time at a time. ஒரு கத்தில ஒரு உரை தாண்டா இருக்கணும். சாரி, ஒரு உரையில ஒரு கத்தி தாண்டா இருக்கணும். Right? Okay, today we gave you time. Why? Because since you have been seriously asking. So, sir, apna na panna kodada. You can do. You are permitted to do, my dear friend. But your co-author can do. See, nicely she has done. Dr. Islata, she has done beautifully. ரெண்டு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் எடுத்தாங்க, அவங்க கைட் பண்ணாங்க, she has presented, and she came to the mainstream. So it is not about what was that depriving you or relegating you. It's a protocol. Protocol to protocol. We are not supposed to
Yes,
bypass. So one,
yes, yes.
yeah. So one paper you can present a single author. நீங்க அறிவுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியுது, உங்களுக்கு மண்டை ஃபுல்லா மூளைதான். God gave you enough knowledge and courage to speak. I accept that. But as per the protocol flows, no, one paper you can do as a single author. Remaining paper you can do with a co-author. That co-author can present your paper. This is also for your kind information. Yes, let me conclude the speech by saying, The theory which is highly criticized will be highly valid, and God will make a way where there seems to be no way. Sincerely thankful to all. See you all at the another event. Any what was it? Any questions to be asked? Any questions?
No
Okay.
questions there. This is
I-
Dr. Lita, but I've been enjoying your conclusion. I've
Ye-
taken few notes as I do teach the research methodology in Bardhasan University. I
Okay.
had a lot of takeaways from your
Yes.
conclusion part. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Happy
Thank you.
meeting
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Ending the meeting for all. We are having the YouTube live also for this. I will be posting in the group. You can take and you can watch this